Welcome back to the channel, everyone. It's been a long time since I've actually done a non-WWE related video. So today I am finally going to give you guys my review of Pokemon Sword and Shield. Now, these games have only been out, these games came out around about November time, and they're not really old. They're about 3 months old. I've already got both games, and I've already finished both games. Pokemon Home's a thing. I showed you guys Pokemon Home in a video I made about a few weeks ago. And I've been wanting to review these games for quite some time. I already made the thumbnail for it, but I never really had the time to review them. So yeah, we're going to be reviewing it today. And also on Pokemon Day, they revealed a new mythical Pokemon, which was pretty cool. I was actually thinking of doing a video on that, but I honestly chose not to. So we'll dive right into it. So we're going to be diving in to the world of Pokemon. So in 2020, we're not really exactly getting much. We're going to be getting a new Mystery Dungeon game. Not a big fan of Mystery Dungeon. I do know there are people out there that do like it. And Sword and Shield are going to be getting an expansion pass. And I might actually talk about that as well when that time comes around. So yeah, let's dive right in to this review of Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield. So the game starts off with Chairman Rose. Now I'm not very smart when it comes to making YouTube videos. I would like pluck a photo on screen or something like that, but you know, I'm not that clever, so I can't really do that. I would wish I knew how to do that, honestly. But the game begins with Chairman Rose. He does what the professors always do. Welcome you to the world of Pokemon, reveals to you one of the new Pokemon, asks for your name and who you are, like your character name and all that stuff. So yeah, pretty much a typical opener, and they kind of tell you about the Galar region and what the world's like. Your best friend is Hop, or your rival is Hop. He is your friend, but he's your rival. And his brother, Hop's brother, Leon, is the champion of the Galar region. He is the undefeated champion of the Galar region. See what I did there? Did Bianca Belair's little undefeated thing that she used to do when she was undefeated. So basically, you see Leon do his first battle, and you still got all that happens. So Leon ends up Dynamaxing his Charizard to Gigantamax, and that's pretty much how your opener starts, honestly. And So the game officially begins when you head to Hop's house to try and find Leon, because Leon will be coming home. And yeah, he's at the train station, so you and Hop go to the train station. Leon says he has a gift for you, and he sends out the 3 starters: Grookey, Scorbunny, and Thobble. Now in Shield, I picked Grookey, because I thought he was the coolest. And in Sword, I picked Sobble. Not really a big fan of Scorbunny, honestly. really wasn't a big fan of that Pokemon. But I did use it in another spare playthrough of Pokemon Sword, so now I can, get everything in to Pokemon Home. Not a good Pokemon, honestly. I thought it was a bit weak. But anyway, um, yeah, you get your starter Pokemon. You and the Hop have your first battle. Hop pretty much has 2 Pokemon, but it's very easy for you to win. So all that happens. Then the game continues on. You continue your journey. You meet up with Sonia, who is the assistant of the professor. You help her out on her. You help her out throughout the game. Oh boy, very hard to focus right now, but I'm gonna get through this just for you guys. So I promised myself I'd do this. So you meet up with Sonia. She gives you the Pokedex. She asks you to go visit Professor Magnolium, who is the actual professor, which I thought was kind of weird that the professor doesn't give you the starter, because normally every Pokemon game the professor of that Pacific region gives you your starter. So I thought it was actually pretty weird to see the champion give you his starter. Also, one other thing I should mention, it just popped into my head just now, is that after you receive your starter, you go to an area that's supposed to be banned, and I use that term loosely because you actually go back there several times close to the end of the game. When you go to this banned area and off-restricted area, you run into an illusion of the box art Legendaries, Zacian or Zamazenta, depending on your game. It all depends on which version you play. So yeah, you have that as well. I thought that was actually pretty interesting. I thought that was a nice way to introduce the Legendaries. I thought that was actually pretty cool. But we already knew their names, so the fact that the game put their names as question mark, it just makes you wonder, well, we already know that's Zacian and Zamazenta. Since my main game was Shield, I was facing Zamazenta. So yeah, I thought I mentioned that. I actually completely forgot about that. I skipped straight to the part where you get Pokeballs, meet Sonia, and then go to Professor Magnolium. But now we'll get back to where we were. When you meet Professor Magnolium, she tells you about the Dynamax feature, and you and Hop have another battle because you want Leon to endorse you. So in order to be a part of the Pokemon League, or the Champion Cup as they call it, you have to have an endorsement. So you and Hop battle for Leon to endorse you. Leon ends up endorsing both of you because apparently winning and losing doesn't really matter, because he endorses both of you regardless if you win or you lose, which I So yeah, I just thought that was a bit weird. And as soon after you get your endorsement papers, a wishing star appears, which that helps you Dynamax. Not a lot happens after that. You go to the train station, you go up to the wild area for the first time. You go back there a few other times as well. So yeah, there's that as well, and the wild area is actually pretty brutal. Make sure you stay away from wild Pokemon, because actually there are some wild Pokemon there that can actually be a bit brutal. So and also you can do some max raid battles. God, I hate the max raid battles in this game. Seriously, these Dynamax battles are so hard. And it's not because our Pokemon, it's not because my Pokemon are weak. It's because of the stupid NPCs. It's because of the stupid NPCs and how terrible they are. You got one trainer who has an Eevee that only spams Helping Hand, and you got another one who has a Soul Rock, which everybody hates that trainer. Soul Rock that does nothing but spam cosmic power. I mean, honestly, what's the damn point? Honestly, what's the darn point? Because these trainers do literally nothing. They don't even help you, and also they're stupid. They send Pokemon. So say for example you go up against a Water type Dynamax Pokemon. I'll use I won't use a Pokemon for example. Let's say you go up against a Water Pokemon in the Max Raid battle, and then you see a bunch of NPCs throwing out Fire type Pokemon like a Torkoal or a freaking Charmander or something, just anything, just a Fire type. It's just ridiculous. And then you see their health like decrease like so quickly, and the way you lose a Dynamax battle is either the match ends in 10 minutes, or you faint 4 times. And it doesn't have to be your character; it can be the NPCs. So the NPCs are so trash that they actually have you lose a lot of the Dynamax battles. And I cannot stand the Dynamax battles. They're just so hard. They're just so hard and they're so stupid. And it even makes Gigantamax Pokemon even more annoying, because of how terrible the AIs can be. So after I've done explaining all that, I don't think I should really explain the entire story, because I think that'll just take too long. But you do go into the Champion Cup. You get all the gym badges. You got Milo, Nessa, who was my favorite gym leader in the game. Depending on your game, depending on Sword or Shield, depending on your game, you get Gordy and Bay, which is Sword, and you get Alistair, which I found out is a girl, which I actually predicted this person was a girl, but a lot of people predicted it was a male, and I predicted correctly, it was actually a chick, and Melanie. So Alistair and Melanie are Shield, which I thought was pretty interesting. But but in my opinion, I feel like Pokemon Sword and Shield is one of the best games in Pokemon history. I feel like Game Freak actually did exactly what they said they were going to do, and make the best Pokemon experience possible. Now I know there was a lot of controversy around the games before they came out. Everyone was having a moan about the national decks, and I made videos about that in the past. I personally do not care about a living dex. Me personally, I really don't. Personally, I really do not care about a living dex. A living dex is not going to ruin the experience for me. Having a living dex isn't going to ruin my experience in the game. Okay? I just want to point that out. Because I did make a full-on rant about that, many, many months ago, when that happened. So Jesus, cat. But yeah, I did make a video about that many, many months ago before the game's released, and honestly, no living dex, it doesn't matter. But we're pretty much getting a living dex in Pokemon Home. There's pretty much a living dex in your Pokemon Home, so if you really want a living dex, there you go. And there's more Pokemon being added into the Sword and Shield Pokedex, so we technically are getting a national dex, but just with added Pokemon to the game. So we technically are getting a national dex. Technically. They're just adding more Pokemon to the dex when the expansion pass comes out. So what's the main plot of the game? Well, the main plot of the game really isn't much, really. Sonia asks you about tells you about the history of Galar. You help her with some experiments about the darkest days, which was something that happened many, many thousands of years ago. And so she was pretty much hinting at you the big threat that was going to happen. to happen in the game. And while you and Hop are just gathering all the gym badges, you make a couple more rivals. You make a rival named BD, and you make another rival. You become rivals with another person named Marnie, who is actually not as bad. She's just a friendly rival. Because in Pokemon games, you got to have friendly rivals. But BD was actually a bit of a jerk. So I like that. I do like they added at least one jerky rival. So after you get all the gym badges, like I said, I'm not going to explain too much of the story because it'll take way too long. You get to the point where you're about to battle Leon for the first time, and then Chairman Rose appears on the big screen, and he reveals that he was planning to revive the Darkest Day for the future of Galar. So Chairman Rose, as what everybody predicted, when the games are on the way, a lot of people predicted that Chairman Rose was going to be the bad guy of the game. And honestly, it was a very good guess. I kind of had that thought in my head as well. But it was actually really cool that people actually kind of predicted who the bad guy of the game was going to be. But he wasn't really a bad guy. It was more that he did something that he thought was best for Galar, but then he realizes what he did wasn't really the right thing. So he technically wasn't a bad guy. It was more that he was obsessed with changing Galar, wanting to make Galar a better place, and he wanted Leon to help him, but Leon was refusing. And then he thought bringing in the Darkest Days was going to help the future of Galar, but all it did was damage Galar, because he awakened the legendary Pokemon Eternatus, which was reported as that evil legendary Pokemon of Galar. It was a poison dragon type, and you can catch it. You can catch it in its Dynamax form, but it does revert to its actual form, and you can't use its Dynamax form, which is quite a shame. Which is a very darn shame. We can catch it in its Dynamax form, but we can't Dynamax it. Ridiculous, but anyway. So after you deal with all that stuff with Chairman Rose, you go back to the stadium, you do your league challenge again, and you battle Leon, and you defeat him, and you become the new champion. So you basically defeat Leon, you end his undefeated streak, which was possibly the most obvious thing that was going to happen in a Pokemon game. You being the one to dethrone Leon. And the post-game, I really wasn't a fan of it. I didn't like the post-game. I thought it was weird that the box art legendaries in Pokemon Sword and Shield were in the post-game. Normally, they are in the main storyline. Normally, they're in the main storyline, and you catch them first. I thought it was very weird to see Eternatus, a Pokemon that's not even a box art legendary, was considered the main story, but then the main Pokemon on the bloody cover of the game were the post-match. I don't know, I just thought that was very, very weird. So I just thought that was pretty weird. But in the post-game, as I said, I wasn't a big fan of it. Solwald and Shieldbert, which were the names of the villains in that. God, that's such a those were just stupid names. They were just puns off the words sword and shield. And their goddamn hair was basically... Solwald's hair was the shape of a sword, and Shieldbert's hair was the shape of a shield. That's basically how terrible this was, because that's basically how terrible it was. I just thought it was dumb, and you had to run around to every gym minus the Spikemoth gym. You had to run around to the 7 gyms, help them out, because those two little weirdos, as Sonia called them, they got their hands on the wishing stars, and they were Dynamaxing all the Pokemon. So yeah, so it was your duty to stop them and help out the gym leaders. And then at the final part is where the silly guys, as I'm going to be calling them, try to force one of the legendary Pokemon to Dynamax, depending on which version you get, which is, like I said, my main playthrough was Pokemon Shield, so I had Zacian as the one they were controlling. So yeah, the legendary Zacian doesn't. Zacian actually retaliates back against Shieldbert or Sword, whichever one it was, and yeah, their plan pretty much backfires. You calm down Zacian, and then you battle Zamazenta in its shield form, and you catch it. That's pretty much it. I caught Zamazenta, and you have one more battle with Hop, and that's pretty much the end of the game. That's pretty much the end of the post game. And then, and obviously in Pokemon, you can just do whatever you want after that. So honestly, guys, I'm just going to say this to you guys. So, yeah, me personally, guys, I gotta give Sword and Shield an 8. I gotta give it an 8 out of 10. I really liked it. I thought the games were great. Can't wait for the expansion pass. I'm definitely gonna be saving up money for that. And if they're good enough, I will probably review those as well. And there's a few more things I want to mention as well, like the new mythical Pokemon. I like it. I thought the new mythical, what's its name again? What's its goddamn name again? Zarude, or Zarude, Zarude. That's its name. I was trying to remember what its name was. It's a grass dark type. Well, we haven't had many grass dark types since the Shiftry, Nuzleaf, and Cacturne. Don't really. I mean, it makes sense because it makes sense for it to be a grass type because it was based around the forest. Made sense. And also, max raid battles now allow you to catch the Kanto starters: Bulbasaur, Charmander, Squirtle, Bulbasaur, Ivysaur, Squirtle, Wartortle, and Charmeleon. Not sure about Blastoise and Venusaur and Charizard. Well, yeah, Charizard because of Gigantamax form. But not sure. I don't know about Venusaur and Blastoise. Don't think so because I didn't hear anything about that. And also, there's a Mewtwo, and apparently it's uncatchable. Now, I'm not mad that it's uncatchable because I think I may know why. Because Mewtwo is a part of the Crown Tundra DLC. So I think maybe they're not having it catchable because of that specific reason. But then again, why would you even allow us to even battle it if it's not supposed to be in the game? But whatever. I think that's the explanation on why you can't catch it. And it's also level 100, apparently. According to Cerebi, it's level 100. So it's going to be impossible to take it out anyway. Because of the stupid AIs, as I mentioned before. Anyway, guys, those are my thoughts on Pokemon Sword and Shield. I thought, as I said, 8 out of 10. The games are great. I really enjoyed them. And hope you guys enjoyed. Hit that thumbs up if you guys did enjoy. Please get this video to 5 likes. That's what I really am hoping for. And see you guys in the next video. See you guys then.